I got to tell you, man, there are so many things that if you do not understand the two types of salon owners that exist on this planet, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to think that you're doing it right, but at the end of the day, you're going to be failing and you're going to have some problems. And I wanted to share this because I see it over and over again. For those of you guys that I haven't connected with yet, for crying out loud, I have been working with salon owners for the better part of 12 years now, and I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And if you're watching this and you're a salon owner, would you just do me a favor and type in salon owner? Because I want to know if this connects with you while we're chatting today. Because I think there are really only two types of salon owners, and I want to get into it, and I want to shred it apart because there's one salon owner that you need to be, and there's another salon owner you need to run far, far away from. And I'm going to talk to you about them and make sure that you guys get it. So do me a favor and comment and say salon owner if you're on with me right now and you're a salon owner. I want to make sure that I know, okay? So here's the deal. There are salon owners that want to look successful, and then there are salon owners that want to actually be successful. Did you guys catch that? Salon owners who want to look successful and salon owners who want to be successful. And those are not the same things, like 1,000 times over. They are not the same type of people. Now, the reason why that's super, super important, and you got to know exactly what's going on here, okay, is that for the salon owners that want to look successful, okay, they go out and they do things, and I've seen this over and over again, is that sometimes what happens when a salon owner gets started in the first place, right? They go to beauty school, they get excited about what they want to do, and they go, you know what? One day I want to be a salon owner. Okay, so they want to be a salon owner. Now, being a salon owner doesn't mean I want to be a successful salon owner or I want to be like a big salon owner, small salon owner. So here's the deal. If you want to be a salon owner, congratulations, you can open up a salon in your living room or in your bedroom, and congratulations, you're officially a salon owner. And by the way, I'm not knocking people who do that. I'm just saying the path to being a salon owner is that you can be a salon owner by just opening up your own salon or going to rent a suite or a booth or something like that. And again, nothing wrong with it. But the difference is for a lot of salons that are out there, that may not be what you want. And so sometimes what happens is salon owners will cheat the process or cheat and create a shortcut to get to the outcome that they want to have as a salon owner, okay? They'll get to the outcome that they want to have as a salon owner without going through these steps. And so here's what I mean. I was talking to a salon owner recently, not going to name names here on any of this stuff, but I'm just going to say I was talking to a salon owner. They were telling me how successful they are and how amazing they are and what's going on. And I have a really easy litmus test. And by the way, if you can tell I'm fired up, just get ready because I'm fired up today, okay? Is that I have a litmus test. I'll tell you if a salon owner is successful or not. It's super easy. All I have to do is ask you, and you don't have to reply to this on chat. Trust me, okay? All you have to do is just ask a salon owner, say, great, what's your profit margin on your business? And if you hear crickets, they're not a successful salon owner. They just want to look sick. They want to look like they're a success. They don't actually want to be a success. And if a salon owner, and by the way, I know I just punched a lot of salon owners in the face. They're like, Jason, I don't know what my profit margin is. And that's okay. We're going to talk about how to fix it, for crying out loud, because it needs to be fixed. Because I was talking to a salon owner, and they were telling me how awesome they are. They say, you know what? I drive a really fancy car. I drive a brand new Mercedes GL. I've heard people say, oh, I drive a Tesla. Oh, I drive a Range Rover. Oh, I drive this amazing luxury car. That shows that I'm successful. No, it doesn't. It shows you can make a payment. It doesn't show that you're successful. And they tell me, well, Jason, I have over 25 staff members on my team. I have this many chair salon. In fact, I have a very large salon that I rent downtown in this bougie district that is just an incredible place to work and be. And you know what? I've even won Salon of the Year in my town. Can I just tell you, that kind of stuff is not impressive to me. And I say that because it's kind of what I would consider to be like flash impressive. It's a thing like salon owners, you live in this world where you can change somebody's look in a minute. You can change somebody's hair color. You can put on a wig, but at the end of the day, you're making yourself feel good for a little bit of time. Sometimes when you do things like that, and I think sometimes that carries over into a business world. And being a fourth generation business owner, entrepreneur, and somebody who looks at businesses a little bit differently than the average person, I think that there's a difference between looking successful and being successful. I think the definition of being a successful salon owner does not mean you have the cars and things and stuff. And look, here's what it means. It means you could drive to work every single day in a beat up pickup truck, but your bank account is growing because you are serving clients to the best of your ability. You are serving your staff to the best of your ability. And you are at the end of the day putting profit in your bank account. Okay. So if you agree with me, do me a favor and say agree. If you're starting to get a little frustrated with me, that's okay. Just say frustrated. It's cool. Hang out. You can stick around with me. Okay. But the goal of being a salon owner, there's really only two goals. Okay. One goal is to create jobs for other people. Did you hear me? One goal, and this is borrowed from a good friend of mine, Mike McAllowitz, by the way. He said, your job as a business owner is to create jobs for other people. And every job that you take from somebody else, you need to get rid of and get to somebody else. Okay? You can't build a job for yourself. You want to build jobs as a business owner. Your job is to create enough work for other people to work that you can employ and create an even bigger business. So any job that you do as a business owner should be a job in practice you're getting ready to give to somebody else. So that's one job, is to create jobs for other people, right? The second job of a business is that you have to make a profit. It's a business. It's not a charity. It's not a 501c3 or whatever country you're in, like all these other things, right? Is that your job as a business owner is to turn a profit. So if you tell me that you drive an Audi and that you have a nice house and that you do all these things, all that tells me is that you know how to let money pass through your fingertips, right? It means you could tell me that you have $1 million salon, a $5 million salon, a $10 or $15 million salon. You could tell me you have 10 locations. Still not impressed. Why? Because I think to impress a lot of people, and I'll be really, really, I don't know if I want to say brutal, but I guess that's the word, right? Is that I think that salon owners sometimes get such a big chip on their shoulder from beauty school, and they say, I'm going to tell the world that I made the right choice, right? Because look, the High Performance Salon Academy, we're all about helping elevate the world, the way the world perceives the salon and spa industry. Now, if you're just out there to go be flashy and say, look, I became a salon owner and look at all the things I have, but you can fake it. You can fake it. You can afford a car payment. You might say, well, Jason, you can't fake a car payment. You can either make a car payment or not. No, that's not true. There's different ways you can do this, right? You can have a really nice car, but have an empty bank account for your business, be struggling to pay your rent every single month. You can have a relationship that's falling apart. You can be on the verge of bankruptcy. You can say, I'm a business owner, but when we look at your books, there's nothing growing. There's no savings account. There's no wealth. There's no profit every single month. You're actually paying to go to work every month because you're not taking a paycheck as a business. So I wrote this huge list. And if you're cool for the list, do me a favor and comment with the word list, okay? So you can have a nice car. You can have this is a great one. This is a good one. A great wardrobe, an amazing closet. It's like your Instagram, right? You're Insta famous. And you've got a salon, you look great as a salon owner. You might even say you own that salon, but you don't own the building. You're just breaking even. You're probably working behind the chair, and here's the worst part that salon owner who wants to look successful ends up as. They work behind the chair, and they make less money than if they work somewhere else. Great litmus test, okay? Is that if you are a salon owner that has a great looking salon, and it looks good on the outside, okay? And you have to work behind the chair, and you're taking less money behind the chair than you would if you went to work for somebody else, that's not success. That means you're literally working every single day like a hobby inside your business and inside your salon in order to just make the rent. That doesn't make sense. Or a lot of people will say this is another great excuse I hear from those salon owners who want to look successful. It's like, well, look, I'm just reinvesting in the business to grow it. Well, look, I reinvested my business and turn a profit. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to turn a profit and reinvest back in your business. See, I think there's a delusion and an illusion that exists for people who want to look successful is that the more money they spend to look fancy or have a cooler salon or build out the trendiest place, right? They're so focused on looking right, they don't do what makes it possible for you to be truly successful, for you to be successful. The other thing to be truly successful, instead of working behind the chair, you don't need to work behind the chair, but you work behind the chair because you choose to, because you love your clients. See, I talk to so many salon owners who say, Jason, I can never get out from behind the chair. I can never get out from behind the chair. I love my clients too much. I got to ask them, well, is it because you love your clients or because you can't, because you're not making enough money in your business? It makes a big difference. I also call those salon owners who look successful, I call them bank account cowboys. This is you if you're a bank account cowboy. If you obsess about your bank balance and you check it on a daily basis, not because you're managing it well, but because you want to know if there's money in the account that you can make your payments. Oh, I know I got that big back bar payment coming out. I got some retail coming in. I got this going on. And you're constantly checking your account for your bank balance. That's called being a bank account cowboy. If you go to run payroll and you're like, oh gosh, I hope I have enough money to do it. That's a bank account cowboy. Instead of having an accountant, right, that you work with who's doing your books on a monthly basis. And in my case, we do accounting on a weekly basis. We do accounting on a weekly basis. My accountant's updating it on a constant basis. And I can look at it and I see at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week, what that is, what it looks like, and if I need to make a plan or adjust my accounting. And I have a buffer. I know where money comes from. It never comes out of my pocket. It always comes out of buffer accounts. That's an accounting plan to make sure that you have it in place. That is what it takes to be a successful salon owner. The other thing is, like I said earlier, is if you don't know your profit, not a success yet. You need to know down to the month what your profit margin was for the month, for the quarter, for the year, what your profit margin is. And if you're like, Jason, I don't know what that profit margin is, then you got to get on the phone and have that conversation. If you're willing to say you know your profit, then that's awesome. Now, the other question is, well, what's the profit margin for the industry in general? And are you beating the industry average? By the way, industry average in the salon industry is abysmal because most salon owners don't know their profit. The other attitude that comes along with looking successful is they say things like this: nobody does it better than me. If you want it done right, you got to do it on your own, right? You've all heard this before, right? I'm the only one who gets anything done around here. As opposed to training your team to be even better than you are. See, somebody who's truly successful, and this is a crazy ego game because I think the ego lives on the salon owner side that says, I want to be more successful. That says, I want to look more successful, right? The ego exists on that side. And you do everything you can to make your ego feel like you're a success as a salon owner, right? And you know what I'm talking about because you've done it before. You've been in this position before where you're like, oh, should I get that car? Well, is the car going to make me look cooler? What, should I get that house? Is the car going to make me look better? And you might not do it consciously, but you do it subconsciously. And this goes the same with hiring on staff. Is that you might hire on staff, and I hear salon owners tell me stuff like this all the time, because I was talking to a salon owner in our Facebook group the other day, and they said, Jason, I want to turn over more of my staff so I can get out from behind, or more of my clients to other members of my staff so I can get out from behind the chair, but you told me that I had to believe that they would be better than me at doing that client's hair, and I don't believe it. I'm the best fit for that client. Nobody could ever do their hair better than me. Well, that's an ego play, right? Is that if you come from an egoless position, you will actually hire people on your staff that are better than you are to do the job. And that's a really significant thing, is will you hire people on your staff, right? If you want to truly be successful, it's going to mean that you hire people who are better than you at lots of things. I don't mean better at you than answering the phone, or better at you than just cutting hair or coloring hair or something like that. I mean better at you than lots of things. Better at you at accounting. Better at you at marketing. Better than you at marketing. Better than you at almost everything inside your business. Better than you at managing your staff. Are you willing to bring on a manager who's a better manager than you are? Because that's what it means to be a business owner, right? Is you're creating positions for other people to participate in. By the way, if this is connecting with you, would you do me a favor and type connecting? I know, hopefully I'm getting your attention on this because it's such a critical thing. This is another one. A salon owner who wants to look successful, they work in the business because they feel guilty if they're gone. Are you guilty of this one? If you are, comment guilty. Is it people, it's like you work in the business and you're like, but if I don't work in the business, people won't think that I'm doing it. They disguise it by saying it's a pride thing. They go, well, I want to show them what it takes to work really, really hard. But that's a disguise. It's a cover. It's a facade, right? It's a facade for you to say, I'm a slave to behind the chair. I am trapped behind the chair. And you show them how hard you work. I can't tell you the number of men and women that I know that work their face off behind the chair as a salon owner because they believe that they need to set the standard, the gold standard of the salon, and be the hardest worker inside the salon. That's not being an amazing salon owner. That's being an amazing team member. True. But you're not a team member anymore. You got to be the salon owner, and you got to be in that role. So the goal would be, instead of working in the business, right, working behind the chair, doing all those other jobs, taking away jobs from other people, like you're stealing jobs from other people, is that you're working on the business. You're working on the strategy and the direction, and you're working on the people, and you're growing people. See, if you're in the people growing business and not the production side of the company, well, then you're a salon owner that's being successful, right? This is a really big deal. Yeah, Fred on here said, Fred Scott says, I will die behind the chair. And by the way, Fred, dude, die behind the chair. I mean, I don't want you to die anytime soon. I'm just saying, if you want to be cutting your last hair and be like, goodbye, cruel world, I'm out, that's fine. But do it because you choose to be behind the chair. Do it because you choose to be behind the chair, not because you have to, because you can't afford to get out from behind the chair. See, that's a huge difference, okay? The other one is, if you're truly successful, instead of working in the business, you're working on the business, meaning you're working marketing strategy and people. And this is a really crazy thing, is that when you're the business owner and the only way you can know if you're truly successful is if you leave for an extended period of time, I'm talking 2 weeks to a month, and the business still operates without you. It still operates, and not only does it operate well, but it actually grows without you there. Like, I know that sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy. And yeah, Fred just said on here, he said, that's all I know how to do is just cut hair. Well, Fred, you got to get some education, brother, man. And you got to get educated on what it takes to be truly successful instead of worried about what it looks like to be successful. See, when you're trying to look successful, you want to know what salon owners who want to look successful say? Oh, I'm really busy. This time of year is really, really busy for me, because people equivalate. It's a good word, Jason. I'm going to learn how to talk. People equate being busy as being successful. And as a business owner, your staff being busy means you are successful. Your bank account being full equates you being successful, not just the amount of transactions that come through. See, I can actually drop my prices down so low inside a salon that the salon is busy, but it doesn't mean I'm a successful business, right? I can get people to come to the door. I can run some Groupons and get dozens of people to come in through the door of the salon and actually pay us money, and I can collect cash, and I can collect $1 million if I want. But if at the end of the day, I'm not making any money and that $1 million came in and I paid out $1 million, am I really a successful salon owner? Or did I just touch $1 million that then left my hand? So here's some other things. Man, I'm on a full rant today. If you're enjoying the rant, though, do me a favor and comment rant. I want to make sure you're loving it, okay? This is another big one. A salon owner that wants to just look successful, right? I want to look successful with my friends. I want to look successful with my family. I want to look successful to the beauty school in town who said, oh, they're making it so that, Jason Everett's beauty salon looks like it's doing well. It's got a big shiny sign on the outside. The windows are clean. The chairs are full, but I'm not making any money. Is because a business owner, a salon owner who wants to look successful, is they will sacrifice profit in the name of service. I would never raise prices on my client. They work too hard for it. Sacrifice profit. I would never try to sell my client retail. They get sold often enough. I don't want to do it. Profit. Now, and by the way, they also will chastise people who sound pushy, salesy, or too business ownery. Oh, I don't want to be that type of business that I just focus on numbers and I don't care about the people. And what they start to do is they start to demonize the business owners who run their business well. Now, let me be clear. Yelling at people to sell more retail, obsessing about profit at every corner, and doing it the wrong way is not the right way either. I'm not talking you got to go down that path. But what they'll do is they'll make it so that they make themselves right for not caring about the profit. So you can care about the profit and not be a Scrooge, right? You can say, look, I want to make a business that earns me a specific profit margin. Like we teach business owners inside the High Performance Salon Academy how to actually prioritize their profit so they actually make money. And this is the difference, is you prioritize and protect your profit while serving the industry. So you ask yourself these questions, say, what services can I offer as a salon that allow me to maximize the profit that I give and maximize the satisfaction of my customers? If you can do those two things, that is a profitable business. Right? You say, what does my city need more than anything? Maybe you're like, hey, we're going to offer bridal services, and that's a high profit margin scenario. Or we're going to offer more retail products. It's a high profit margin scenario, right? Is that people who prioritize high profit margin scenarios and serve their market really well do great. But again, there's salon owners who go, oh, I don't want to do that. That's the wrong direction. And what they do is they lie to themselves and they say that they're protecting the customers, but really what they're really doing is they're sacrificing profit in the name of service. Another thing that will make you look successful instead of being successful is you have lots of guests coming through the door of your salon, right? Lots of guests don't impress me. I want to know, are they profitable? The staff has no clue. They have no clue how much they make per service provider. If you don't know what you make per service provider. If you're unsure, you're like, well, I don't really know, but some of my providers that are at different levels, maybe you use a level system inside your salon. By the way, if you do me a favor and say levels inside your salon, is that you might have different levels of providers inside your salon, right? You have people for your new people, you have people who've been around for a long time, they might even have associates with you. Is that if you have multiple levels of people inside your salon, do you know the profit margin you make on that brand new person starting on the floor? And do you know the profit margin you make on that person who's been with you for 10 years? I hear people say this all the time. This is my favorite. People go, Jason, what should I pay my service providers? What commission percentage or how should it work? And I go, well, look, it depends, right? Doug and I talk about this all the time. It depends. What's your profit margin? Because you got to check out your profit margin first. Then after you decide what your profit margin is and all your expenses, then you can decide what to pay. See, a lot of people go, well, I pay out some crazy percent, right? You decide what crazy is, 50, 60, 70%. Who knows what kind of crazy margins people are paying. And then they go, well, how much profit margin do you make on that? Like, I don't know. Well, if you don't know, then again, you're trying to look successful instead of be successful. You're sacrificing actually making money because you want to have more people on the floor inside your salon, right? You go, oh, I want to have that busy stylist because it makes the salon look busy. But even though you're losing money every time that service provider does a service, you got to know the answers to these questions. Are you making a decision to just make your salon look busy or to actually be successful? Okay. The other thing is if you want to just be successful, you want to add service providers only to become a healthier salon. Did you catch that? So one is you have lots of guests and you have no clue how much you make per service provider versus a profitable salon, a successful salon, a very powerful salon will add service providers in order to make a healthier salon. So you got to ask yourself, okay, well, with our inflow right now, can I add another service provider and make sure that this additional service provider adds value to the company at a profit margin that helps us grow because they'll help us sell more retail. They will help us bring in more profitable services here inside the salon. Which brings me to another thing. Do you know, right, what services are offered in your salon, or do you just offer them because it makes sense for your salon? I want to be a salon that's a full service salon. I'd love to be a full service salon, right? And we want to be able to provide all types. We want to do nails. We want to do massage. We may even do med spa, right? I do those things so my salon looks bigger, looks better, looks, right? Do you want to look successful or do you want to be successful, right? A look successful salon, they think that volume, I'm not talking hair volume, I'm talking volume of guests and volume of money equals success versus on the other side, a salon owner that wants to be successful knows that profitability equals success. So it is still volume, but it's volume of your profit, not volume of your top line. So where are you focused? Are you focused on the top line or are you focused on the bottom line? Another thing that is the difference between a profitable salon that is making money that is truly successful or somebody who looks successful is that what happens is when you just want to look successful, you're constantly stressed about maintaining the image of your salon. Very often, and this doesn't always play out, but it's salons that put their name on the building, right? Jason's Amazing Salon, Jason's Killer Barbershop, right? Whatever that is it's a high stress environment. You're constantly stressed about looking right versus if you connect with a business that's truly successful, you'll have lasting security inside your business. By the way, still connecting, still going? If we are, do me a favor in the comments, still looking successful. Somebody who looks successful, they don't want to seek advice because they deep down secretly know that the advice they're going to be given says that they're not successful, and they kind of secretly know it. They also think that they can't afford to get advice. They're like, well, I'm running on such a paper thin margin. You know, salons are such a thin margin anyway. There's no way I could pay for somebody to look at my business. Whereas right now, there are ways, for example, that if we went into your salon, I could find you a way to double the amount of profit that you're making within the first 30 days of working with you. Totally. There's some changes I can make by just getting you more profit out of your back bar, by getting rid of waste, by doing all those things. There's some very easy changes. We always tell people, man, it'd be a piece of cake to come in and make you some massive amount of money right away. So a coach, for somebody who's trying to be successful, salon owners trying to be successful, they would never go without a coach because they know a coach will show them little hidden profit pockets in their business they're not paying attention to, right? They hire multiple coaches. Like for me in my business, I have multiple coaches. I have a personal development coach to get my head on straight in personal and professional part of my life. I have a business advisor and a business coach. I have a speaking coach. I have other training coaches that help me get my life right. I have multiple coaches. Not only do I have multiple coaches, but there's a successful salon hires multiple advisors too. They hire multiple advisors like a CPA, Like we mentioned, a business coach, or they hire an attorney, they hire a good accountant, they hire a good marketing firm, right? A successful salon knows that they hire extremely professional people to do the work, and then they know how to hold them accountable. You know what a looking successful salon does? They hire people so they look good. So they go, well, I work with the biggest advertising firm that makes me look good online. And you go, great, what's your return on investment from your ad spend? They go, oh, we don't worry about that. We're just branding our company, right? Is they'll work with those big, flashy, shiny, good-looking agencies, but they won't actually make money from, because they don't know how to hold them accountable. They don't know how to make them money, and they're not sure what their return on investment is. So again, biggest question I could ask is, do you know your salon owner profit? If the answer is no, then I know where you're at. You're in the looking successful game. There's nothing wrong. You just need to acknowledge it. And immediately after watching this, listening to this, reading this, whatever you're doing right now, is what I want you to do is say, look, some of these things I'm guilty of, and never again. I'm going to find out what it takes to be successful, to make a profit margin, to be able to afford the things that I want to have. Because look, there's nothing wrong with being excited and being celebrating yourself that you're able to afford that Mercedes or some of those things. That's great. But now it's time to put on your big boy or big girl pants and figure out, how do you become profitable as a salon? How do you actually become successful in a way that is generationally successful, not just successful enough for you to afford a car payment, right? A look successful salon owner doesn't need help. In fact, they fake confidence all the time. I was talking to a salon owner recently, and they were telling me that, like, oh, Jason, I work with massive people that you would know. I work with celebrities. I work with all this stuff. So clearly I'm a big success. I'm like, I don't care if you work with celebrities. I want to know, do you have a profitable salon that is replicatable, whether you're there or not? Right? Instead of faking confidence, I want somebody who acknowledges and is humble enough to seek feedback. Did you catch that? Super important difference, okay? So I want to meet with a salon owner. Some of the most successful people that I know who are truly successful are some of the most humble people I've ever met. For crying out loud, I know people who've been in the industry longer than I've been alive. You guys know who you are, right? And I work with them, right? Is that some of them, they're like, look, Jason, I learn this stuff. I learn new things every single day. I'm just getting started. I like to say I'm always in round one, man. I'm in kindergarten. I'm just learning how to run a business. I can't wait to see what it's like in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Yeah, Joelle on here says, I'm going to be. That's what I'm saying. I hope you get out of this entire rant here about looking successful versus being successful, that it pisses you off enough to want to flip from just looking successful to actually being successful. Because you know what? There are people that are running around right now, driving around some beat up pickup trucks that have 10 times the money you have, that are driving around in your Mercedes. And by the way, I would like to actually drive around in my very nice car and be successful at the same time. That's my goal, right? Is to always be in that front, is to enjoy my wealth and have access to that wealth, not get rid of all the wealth, not use any of it and then just have it sitting around. I don't want it rotting either, okay? So looking successful, they struggle to implement the right things. They have ideas about things. And by the way, these are idea people. Okay, these are people like, I always have big ideas. I'm gonna knock this wall out. They're big dreamers. They constantly dream what they're gonna do. But you know what successful salon owners do? They have a dream and then they have an implementation team. Did you hear that? They have an implementation team. They have people that will actually go out and implement. So when they have a dream, they formalize it. Like we use this process inside of our business all the time. And we've refined it, made it even better, is we have system sheets. So it's like when we have an idea, it has to go on the sheet, it has to be vetted and then turned into the team. And then the team goes and runs and executes against it instead of just throwing out ideas and hoping that people actually get it done. They don't just take your random idea and run with it, because people don't do that. They need to have a plan that's clearly thought out. And they can do that. And they find a third party. It could be another advisor, another coach. They give them implementation on their ideas before they implement in their business versus just making whatever happen. The other difference is that I would say, this is kind of wrapping this thought up, is that a lot of salon owners who want to look how to be successful, right? They want to look successful, is they don't understand the difference between an investment and an expense. See, when you invest in coaching and you start working with somebody that can actually help you, it's an investment, meaning you put money into something, and that investment, it's kind of like planting a seed. If you've only got 1 ear of corn, that's all you have left. You can do one of two things. You can either use it as an expense and eat it. You can eat it and consume it, or break up that ear of corn and share it with your family, and that's all the food you have left. Or you take those hundreds of kernels that exist on that ear of corn and take those and plant them in a field, and then it becomes an abundant harvest for everybody else. See, a lot of salon owners know how to eat the corn. They don't know how to plant the corn. Do you see the difference? Is that an investment is, I'm going to take this corn, I'm going to water it for a couple of months until it grows. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to, make sure it's got lots of sunlight, make sure it's got water, make sure there's not a lot of weeds there. I'm going to grow it, right? Is that you invest in things versus you consume or use things as expenses. See, salon owners who look and appear successful, they're great consumers, right? The distributors love them because they just buy everything they ask. They do every promotion that they ask, right? And they buy every marketing campaign. And at the end of the day, they're like, it's just not profitable to run a salon. Versus a successful salon owner is they understand the difference between that investment versus an expense. They know how to plant those seeds. They know how to be patient enough for something to grow. They expect results over the long haul, not in this immediate future. A lot of times too, I'll see this all the time, is that salon owners will, they'll remodel their salon, right? They're like, we remodel all the time. We just remodeled, we're finishing a remodel. I'm gonna not take any profit because I'm about to do a remodel. Look, I want you to have remodeling planned into your profit plan to say, look, every 7 years we want to do a refresh of the salon. So what's that going to cost me? Not, I'm just not going to take a profit for the next year because I had to remodel my salon, then I have to pay that loan payment. Well, that's not doing any good. If you're cycling your profit and you're spending it, what you're doing is all you're doing is passing the money that you make that you held on to for that second, you're passing it to hopefully a company who's got the chance to hold on to it. Because the only way you keep profit is if $1 million passes through your hand, you hold on to a certain portion of that as a profit that becomes your income as your take-home profit. So if you get nothing else out of my rant today about protecting your profit and learning how to do it, it's that as a salon owner, you really only have two options. You either look successful or you actually become successful. You become the person who protects the profit. You understand what are the nuances of your business that will make you the most money. And you use what you have every single day to grow other people, right? You grow and create other jobs for other people. You protect your profit. Those are really the only things you need to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There's about 1,000 variations of this that you also need to know in nuances. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is you protect your profit and you grow your people and you can be successful. Stop concerning yourself with just being flashy and looking successful. No more Tiffany's bracelets and things that you can't afford. No more Rolex watches, no more fancy things that you can make the payment on, but you're not making the profit. So don't make any payments on things until you're making profit. I hope that's helpful for you today. Do me a favor and let me know what was your biggest, most valuable thing that you learned from this session today that you took out of it. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, man. What was the most powerful thing you took away from this whole section? And by the way, if you're getting to the end of this right now and you just jumped on late, you're going to want to go back and watch this thing from the beginning because I literally just ranted my face off for the last 30 minutes about salon owners that are successful or not successful. And you got to figure out which one you are. And if you don't know, this video might just help you out, right? And by the way, we're creating some new content for a brand new book we have coming out. And if you're interested in getting a copy of the new book, do me a favor and comment with the word book, because this exact section will be a chapter in this book to make sure you understand the difference between looking successful and actually being successful. Thank you guys so much for being here. Looking forward to seeing even more from you guys, and we'll talk with you soon. All right, guys, have a great evening. Bye for now.